Hello, welcome. Welcome to my channel. My name is Rebecca. If you're new here, I am a writer, I'm a painter, I'm a filmmaker. I do a lot of creative things and love to talk about the creative process. So that's what goes on here. Welcome. So I just got back last week from the UP. We were there for 2 weeks. For non-Midwesterners, the UP is the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. My grandparents, who both passed away, they had a cabin there. And I went there for a couple weeks with my mom and her dog Finn, and it was beautiful and remote and incredibly quiet and, you know, buggy as it can be in the UP, you know, but those moments when the wind is just right and the bugs are back in the woods and the beach is so quiet and lovely and the air is like silk and the sand is like powdered sugar and the water is like a bath. I mean, it's like this moment in paradise. I mean, it's just incredible. And yeah, I just love going up there. I'm in Wisconsin now, back home in Wisconsin in Door County, which is a beautiful area. So it's funny to say, like, I'm in this beautiful tourist area and then I, you know, went off to this other place, but it's, you know, if you're in a touristy area, it's nice to get away to an even more remote place. So it was wonderful, and I feel like my brain just totally turned off for a couple of weeks, which was marvelous. Yeah, I didn't do any writing. I didn't work on like nothing official. Like I wasn't working on a script. I wasn't working on one of my books. I was journaling. I was reading books. I read a couple beautiful novels there, and I was painting, and felt really inspired to paint up there and finished 3 paintings and just felt like I fell into this wonderful groove. And I was reflecting while up there, just going for my morning walks, and it really hit me, you know, I really love my life. Sorry, this is like me in shock, but I don't know if I've ever really felt this before in my life. Obviously I've had moments where I've been so happy and loving what I'm doing, but this is different what I'm feeling lately, and this comes from the last years of me really rewriting my life, and that's something I'm going to talk about in future videos here on this channel. But I feel like I have recreated the foundation of my life, and I love it. Like there's a deep happiness that comes from it, and certainly, like, from the outside it doesn't look that great, and you know, there are things in my life that I want to change. So I was in LA for a long time, grew up in Wisconsin, was in LA as sort of a part of the film industry. I was very indie filmmaker, micro-budget filmmaker, and then was also acting and writing screenplays. And I just burnt out. I completely burnt out, and I came back to Wisconsin several years ago to stay with my mom, and I figured it would be really short term, and it ended up being several years. So I mean, I look at, you think that you're going to make changes in your life and it's going to happen quickly, and I'm going to talk about this in this video, but it takes time. It does take time, and I'm so grateful that I took the time to make changes in my life and figure out what actually made me happy, what I needed for my own foundation for my life. Because it really hit me while walking on the beach that this is good. I love this. I love where the story's going. I love where my story's going. And it made me think about a story that Natalie Goldberg, the wonderful writing teacher and writer, Natalie Goldberg, talked about in her book, Wild Mind. What does that say? Living the Writer's Life. Natalie Goldberg. I think she's most famous for, is it called Writing Down the Bones? Yeah, it's called Writing Down the Bones. But I love Wild Mind. I mean, I say I love Wild Mind. I haven't like read the whole thing in a long time, but I keep it on my desk just to page through. And she tells a story in this about a friend of hers who, when she was much younger, in her late 20s, I believe, she left the rural South and went to New York and felt completely lost in her life. She was estranged from her family. She was just wandering the streets of New York, just like, I don't even know who I am, right? And some of us, we know that feeling, right? I don't even know who I am. I'm sort of fading into the background. And she went to a therapist. She found a great therapist. And by the end of her first session, she went from being like, I don't know who I am, to being able to articulate with that therapist that one thing that she knew, that she specifically, not other people in her life, not her family, not the people in the town she came from, what she really loved was the taste of chocolate. And from that place of knowing that she loved chocolate, she could build her whole life, build her authentic life from that. And for me, I don't think I've honestly ever had an aspiration to be a professional painter. I'm selling paintings now, which is wonderful. That's a wonderful bonus from my painting. But I started painting again several years ago because I was so burnt out on, I guess you could say, trying to please the world or trying to succeed in this way that didn't feel like it was really coming from me. And a lot of that had to do with, gosh, I should talk about this in another video because it's a big one, but just the pressures of the film industry, the pressures on women in the film industry specifically, and feeling like you have to accomplish so much so quickly. And it's just a film industry. It's a film industry. It's an industry that looks past you very quickly, right? I remember feeling that at film festivals, like, God, it's so hard to hold anyone's attention and just have a conversation. You know, it's always who's the hot new young thing. And God, there's so much I could go into about the film industry. I mean, even just like with the films being made nowadays, like, and at movie theaters and everything. But I burnt out on it. And I felt like I came back to Wisconsin not even seeing straight. And there was a lot going on. I broke up with a long-term relationship. It just, everything crumbled. Everything in my life crumbled. It was fascinating. My car broke down. I mean, like, everything dead, gone. I felt completely isolated. And I was like, I don't know what to do. But I knew that I loved painting. And I also knew that I loved chocolate. I love this story in here because, I mean, for me, anyone who's ever had really bad depression, which I've had my whole life, you know, those really scary moments. And it's like, what is there to live for? What do I have? And I remember moments like that, even in high school, just being like, there's chocolate in the drawer downstairs in the kitchen. And that's enough. I mean, that was enough for me. And it is really true that you can build your life off of your pleasures if you can feel them, if you can let yourself feel them, and then if you can let yourself give them to yourself. So for me, painting was a way back to myself. Again, not to start a career, although it's wonderful to sell paintings. It's very cool. I love it. But it connects me to myself, and it connects me to the feeling of joy. And I feel like that can sound really trite, this whole thing of like, connect with your joy, connect with, what makes your heart sing, blah, blah, blah. But it's real. It's real. And I've started watching my life recently, just like even in the last couple months, being like, what happens when I'm having more fun? I have more energy. My health seems to improve. I feel more vibrant. I want to express more, so I want to share more on social media. I want to talk about my paintings more. I've sold more paintings. I connect with friends more. Everything gets better when I am having more fun, when I'm having more joy. And it's not just painting now, right? For me, it's painting, it's baking, I'm reading books about like chefs now, just because I have a project coming, but like I'm interested in building a life of joy and of pleasures that light me up. And I'm never gonna sell anything I bake. Like, I have no interest, but I feel alive. I feel connected when I do these things. And I listen to like Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, the podcast, because I love it, because they're so silly and like wholesome and dorky, and I just love it so much. And anything that makes me happy or that ups my energy or makes me feel alive. I do ballet, like bar exercises. Anything that makes me feel that feeling of joy. I used to think of that as extraneous, as extra, as not necessary, as a wonderful like frosting on the cupcake of all the hard work that I was doing. And then you get to earn it. You get to earn that joy. And the fact of the matter is that the joy gives me what I want, ironically, right? The more that I paint, the more ideas I have for my writing. And the more interested I am in putting the work into my writing, right? That's part of what burned me out is screenwriting and trying to please other people and trying to sell screenplays and all of that, trying to fit certain molds, which served me. I did sell several screenplays. It was wonderful. It was a huge blessing in my life. But it does take a toll on your brain, and you have to go, okay, I need to do the thing that I keep telling myself I'm going to do when I hit that milestone. So for me, it was always like, if I hit a certain screenplay sale number in terms of money, then I'll be able to start painting and I'll feel okay to start painting again. It was like, what the hell are we doing? Like, you can do it now. You can do it now. Start it now. And that's been a big thing for me too lately, is this feeling of like, why not now? Why can't I do it now? Why do I have to hold off forever? And I was just walking around in the UP just thinking about these things, and I thought I would share it with you and bring it back, because I'm obviously back here in Wisconsin now and trying to take that energy back with me. But incremental joy, incremental choices toward things that feel good to you, they build up, and it creates a life of your choosing. And that feels really powerful. It doesn't feel like, I'm like claiming my life and I'm clenching onto it. It feels like, no, this is like roots of a tree down into the earth, kind of strong. And that's a different feeling. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to grip my life and change my life. It feels like these decisions made over time, over years, are adding up, and I'm becoming a different person because of it. So if you're someone who finds this, and I know this feeling, I've found people on social media and on YouTube where I've really clung to their videos and them talking about their lives. So if this resonates with you, the feeling of loss, the feeling of fading into your life and not feeling like yourself, and not even feeling like, did I even choose this? I don't even know how to choose again. Think about that story with the chocolate, because I love that, and it really is that small, and it adds up. For me, baking and cooking and all these things, they add up, and they make me want to take new chances and try new things and get more experimental, and then everything doesn't feel so heavy and so important. Then you're just playing with life, and there's so much freedom in that. It's funny, I get fed these like YouTube videos like in my feed where there are things where it's like what is it? It's become unrecognizable. And it's like this idea that like you can hide away and then you can just change your whole self within like a month or within like 3 months. And it's like, I can't think of a better setup for self-sabotage than deciding that you're gonna change everything overnight. I mean, I say that because I've done that. I spent decades trying to self-sabotage myself into like, I'm gonna change everything in like a month, and I'm gonna do all these things in this month. And it just never happened. And the thing that really has worked for me is appreciating chocolate and painting and doing new things and letting it add up. And what that does is, as you start to experience that pleasure in your regular life, you start to see that the rest of your life is going to have that too. It's going to feel that good too. Now, of course, it doesn't take away your suffering. You're still a human. You're going to suffer. But it carries you through the suffering. And it gives you a life to look forward to. And every single day you have things to look forward to. And you have projects going on and ideas and things to connect with people on. Like I love talking to people about books that they're reading or things that they're baking or paintings, that they're creating or techniques they're using. And the world opens. The world opens to you as you let yourself do things that you enjoy, It's not necessarily like a big, oh my God, I love this all the time, but it's just a curious enjoyment of one little thing after another, one paint stroke, one bit of color mixing, you bake the muffins and they get burnt, and then you bake the cake and it's perfect, and oh my God, what was different? It's that curiosity. It's a very quiet form of joy that actually, like I said earlier, it becomes these roots into your life. And I'm experiencing right now the pleasure of having chosen pleasure in small ways over a long period of time. So I just wanted to share that with you. And I want to share more about that here on this channel. And thank you so much for watching. I'm excited to make more videos for you and just kind of keep playing with this. All right, thanks so much. Bye-bye.